Wondered whatever became of. I'm living on the air.
Hello, I'm disc jockey Venus Flytrap. Thanks for joining us. That was a little Foreigner from the Foreigner 4 album. Up next, it's Kansas. Point of No Return on WKRP. Here's Drew Brees. Thank goodness, bailing us out of that 40-year-old sitcom television rerun. Another great weather day in New Orleans, all along the Gulf Coast. Outstanding weather. You got to love it. Corey Johnson back at you on a Wednesday. You know what that means. It's wide open. It's wide open Wednesday. You're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss, you line up the program. You produce it. Something that maybe isn't being discussed enough or maybe not at all. We're missing it. Talk show hosts, local, national media, podcasters, and the like. Social media and the intranet device. Is there something out there we're missing? Wide open Wednesday. You're the show producer. Rouse's Markets phone lines. You dial us up. That's how you start producing. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480. 766-9480. A lot going on this wide open Wednesday. In about 12 minutes, New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams will join us on the neutral ground. Find out what's going on with him and his mom, how they're doing after this carjacking. And it appears the suspects, 118, the other a juvenile, caught. We'll find out what's going on with Jason Williams in a few minutes. Yeah, the NOPD making a couple of arrests in that carjacking incident. Sadly, we'll ask Jason Williams about this. This is just sad and tragic. I love doing this program, I swear, each and every day. But a New Orleans man, Joseph Washington, just 29 years old, obviously mental issues, has threatened and abused his former wife in the past, threatened to kill her and the children, burn the house down, things of that nature in the past. Well, he set his ex-wife's house on fire, killing their 3 young children inside, 2 boys and a girl, 3, 5, and 8. Just sickening. In custody, his car ended up in the Mississippi River by the ferry launch, the ferry landing in Gretna. No, we'll talk to Jason Williams about that sick, twisted story that's just so sad and tragic. 3, 5, and 8. I always tell it like it is. Don't befriend the people I'm covering. I don't like telling it like it is, but like a 3-year-old, they know what's going on. And a 5 and an 8-year-old definitely know what's going on. And dying in a fire, not being able to breathe. Most likely smoke inhalation killed them more than the fire. Sickening. 3, 5, and 8. I don't know, pretend they're white kids in Metairie, and then maybe you can think 3, 5, and 8, and it hits home a little better because it's 3 black kids in Orleans Parish. You just gloss over it. I don't know. Think that they're white kids in Metairie, North Shore kids, affluent family. And I don't know what to tell you. I just see 3, 5, and 8, and I'm like nauseated, like depressed. Like, how do I shake off thinking about a 3, 5, and 8-year-old? I'm thinking about when I was a kid and things that scared me that weren't even life-threatening, but you didn't know any better. And then the dad, it's just like, how is he still around bothering the ex-wife? No, just terrible. It's like the hospital. in Gaza. It looks like it was a Gaza-fired rocket from either Hamas or a jihadist group, not the Israelis, that fired that missile that hit the Gaza hospital, killing apparently, reportedly, hundreds. An errant missile launch for Israel that went off target. There just seems to be a lot of evidence. It's 2023. There's a lot of technology. There's video. There's tracking systems of rockets and missiles being fired. This job sometimes I love it, but it can weigh you down. Fantasy Fridays are like a necessity because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday can be brutal. Like 3, 5, and 8-year-old, 2 boys and a girl killed in a house fire that the father set to get back at the ex-wife, kills the kids. The Israeli Hamas war. You know, I was thinking about this today. If Israel and the United States and Britain, I mean, we are excellent at surveillance and staying on top of what the enemies or those that don't like us could possibly be doing. I don't get how these camps that Hamas was training for this raid, they're in Gaza, these camps. And there were multiple camps where they practiced this. The collapse, the failure in intelligence on this, there wouldn't have been a war if Israel's military would have been ready when these 1,000 or so Hamas militants, terrorists, come in on motorcycles, cars, gliders. I mean, practicing to fly around in gliders with big fan motors. That's just fun times in Gaza. I mean, I don't know. What was Israel thinking? I don't know. There'll be a lot of time. It's week 2 of this war. Be a lot of time to look back on this, but this thing gets more complicated than just Israel and Hamas and Palestine. It's about Israel, and I'm not saying the war was started because of this. I'm not into some conspiracy theory, but there's so many levels that are deeper, like before the war started, like 2.5 weeks ago, for months and months going back, maybe a year going back, hundreds of thousands protesting on the streets. A change in government, Netanyahu wanting to put more power in the legislature he controls and take power away from the judicial. I mean, it isn't like even a left-right, it's the courts. And then just this breakdown. I mean, Netanyahu and those in charge right now, they're going to be scrutinized by this total breakdown in security, where Hamas comes in on motorcycles and hang gliders and just regular vehicles. Anyway, depressing stuff. Jim Jordan falling short in the second House Speaker ballot. Will he pull a McCarthy and go like 15 rounds on this? Hey, the U.S. Capitol Police say they've made about 300 arrests, protesters, Jewish activists supporting Palestinians, but going into the Capitol and sitting down and refusing to leave. I don't get protesters. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of attention being brought to them because of the 300 being arrested. But boy, that is a definitely in the future that needs to be looked at. It almost needs to be like, I don't know, it can't be done secretly, but it almost needs to be like journalism's like job, almost like, I don't know how you do it. You're like ignoring a story that's real. I'd like to broadcast my show from I-10, the middle lane of I-10. It would get shut down immediately. The show would go off the air about 15 minutes in. 46826NOLA.com would report on it. I would get arrested. It would be on social media like crazy. Corey Johnson did his show from I-10 at Bonneville, middle of the I-10. Just got out, set up a table, blocked traffic for miles. Yeah, I'm breaking the law. I could go do that and probably boost my ratings. But also, I'm like, First Amendment's precious. For me, the microphone, camera's precious. Responsibility involved. For protesters, that First Amendment should be precious. And going into the Capitol and having to be arrested, no, you're breaking the law. Corey Johnson with you.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. I picked up Lebanon's Cafe for lunch. A little to-go order. Heba, Carlina, the crew taking care of me. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette in Uptown. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food in New Orleans can be found at Lebanon's Cafe. Plus, right now with this weather, another great weather day, outstanding weather, get outside and enjoy it. District Attorney, City of New Orleans, Jason Williams joins us again on the program. Jason, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Hey, Corey, it's good to be with you.
All right, the three most important questions. How are you doing?
I'm very grateful, man. I'm grateful that my mother was unharmed, and I'm grateful that I was unharmed. This is it's a tough thing to go through, but it turns out a lot worse for a whole lot more people. So I'm very thankful.
How's your mom doing? I saw the video. She hustled out of there pretty quick, frightened. It's sickening.
It's tough. She didn't sign up for this. I ran the BDA. She just ran. She's just my mom, and so all of this is a whole lot for her. And she's already afraid of this because obviously the city of New Orleans is dangerous right now. And she doesn't go out late at night, and that's why I was giving her a ride home. So she's pretty shook up. I appreciate you asking about her. I'm at her house right now, as a matter of fact, taking this call.
Wow. We'll tell her we're all thinking about her. 78 years old. I thought about my 92-year-old mom when I saw your mom hustling away in that video and making that noise where she was frightened. It's terrible. How's your wife?
She's thankful as well. Shook up because of what could have been. But you can't skip the blessings, Corey. This is a blessing. We hit the lottery. Guns in your face and nobody squeezes the trigger. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. A lot of people get hurt very badly. Carjackings can go bad because of a quick or sudden movement or a loud noise or because somebody's nervous. Which is why they are such dangerous situations. And
one of your first comments was about your 5-year-old son not growing up without a dad.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. You and I have known each other since before I was DA and before I was on the council. And I've listened to your show, and we all think about what we might do in a situation like this. And I had delusions of grandeur, and I was a Division I athlete. You think you can fix something or stop something. But when two guns are out, there's not very much you can do. All you can do is get off the X, move away from the bad situation, get your family away from the bad situation. And I'm just thankful that I didn't do anything stupid because it would have been stupid.
I think considering the situation, you handled it like textbook. You can take my vehicle, no problem. But I'm getting my mother out of the vehicle first. And if you get shot at that point, my God, what you were trying to help your mom. What is your choice? To walk away with your mom in the vehicle? So I don't know how else you handle that. Then you can have my vehicle, but I'm getting my mom out first. It's almost like, my gosh, you criminals, this is as reasonable as it can get.
Thanks, Corey. It's hard to relive hearing you describe it, but that's exactly what happened. And I'm just thankful that, look, Miss Bricky was trying to get out of the car and they didn't give her enough time to get out of the car, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, no. And you right away, you could tell automatic weapons.
Yeah. Definitely for my mom, this is my business. I've heard a lot of victims and survivors describe what they've gone through and what they looked at and what they looked for. And, I got a good look at the guns, and they were automatic weapons. But I tell you, that barrel is a whole lot bigger when it's facing you.
No, I can't even imagine it. Everybody loves talking tough about guns, what they do. It's pathetic. It's People need to get into reality. It's a lot different.
Let me tell you this reality, though. The NOPD is working really hard every day. Not just for me that night, but every single day. We don't have enough of them. But they are showing up as fast as they can, and they're trying to do everything they can when they get there. And we just need to appreciate them.
You didn't identify yourself even in that situation, did you? You didn't say, "Do you know who I am? I'm the district attorney in New Orleans." You didn't even get into that with these guys, did you?
I wouldn't do that if I was getting stopped for a traffic ticket, Corey. I mean, I'm not any different from anybody else.
No, I don't mean I just like, gosh, you guys, it's brazen. I'm the DA, almost like that kind of bringing it up, not to get out of it, but you know these guys. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Crimes. They don't care about. They don't watch press conferences.
They had no idea who you were.
Man. They don't care. They're not voting. They don't care about that sort of thing. This was, unfortunately, I wish that folks were more engaged a little bit, but it is what it is. And there's a Mary Oliver quote that says, "It is a serious thing to be alive on this fresh morning, in this broken world." And I've known this poem for a long time, but it never meant as much as it does now.
No, man, I was thinking about you after the situation. It's like, man, this federal trial, that's enough to just knock somebody down where they don't get back up. And then the other night, it's like, my God, it's a lot of stuff in the last few years in your life.
Feels like a lot of stuff, man. I'm waiting for my 17-year-old to tell me, "Dad, can you just stay out of the paper for a little bit?"
Yep. That 17-year-old would be correct. And that from that point of view, being your kid, I'd be saying the same thing to my dad. Jason Williams is with us, New Orleans District Attorney. Hey, Jason, I kind of got three vibes on social media, kind of like, oh my God. And then sort of this hidden vibe of, okay, I like Jason, but okay, maybe he'll be a different DA now. And then the hardcore vibe, like, good, maybe he'll be a different DA now. That's the three vibes I got. Is that accurate, you'd say?
That's the three vibes that America is. That's how we're living right now. You got people that are just being human beings, and you got people who are always going to try to find the negative. And look, people have a right to say whatever they want to say. I signed up to be a public figure. I can handle criticism. But when you point a loaded gun at a 78-year-old woman, I would hope that whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you're black or white, whether you like Jason Williams or not, whether you're progressive or conservative, liberal or conservative, that you would realize that, carjacking, murder, rape, armed robbery, these are bad things. And my office has been working really, really hard to get convictions in an environment of unanimous juries in all of these cases. We prioritize these crimes. So when we went back and we dealt with folks who were in jail for chump amounts of drugs or addiction issues, or guys serving 11 years in jail for distribution of marijuana, stuff like that. Yeah, we revisited some of those cases. We looked at cases where people were innocent, but I have personally convicted over 6 people of serious violent crimes, tried the cases myself. My lawyers are working hard every day on cases like this, and being progressive and making sure that the system and that the courts are fair has nothing to do with being soft on crime. It's just making sure that we're accurate about who we're arresting and who we're convicting. And that's all I can do. I mean, that's what lets me sleep at night. I think that we can have safe streets, and I think we can have fair courts. And I don't think that it is Pollyannish to believe that.
I said this before. I'll say it again. I think some people say stuff to get elected, and then when they get in office, they change. I said, I think Jason Williams ran saying what he said, and he meant it. And then when he got in office, he changed because he became DA and saw things as DA. Like, I'm not going to, try juveniles as adults. And then the fricky thing, you're like, I'm trying some juveniles as adults. Will this change your way of being DA? I mean, it's got to indirectly, at least subconsciously, right?
I can tell you that I have had some conversations with some experts about trying to figure out a way to provide assistance to victims in the moment, right? So that they can get off the X, de-escalate, remove themselves from the situation. So sure, I'm thinking about like, what can I learn from this experience to provide something to the people of this community? That's not really a DA's job, but I mean, I happen to be a victim, and I was able to get out of that situation because I had a close friend who had been in those situations and gave me the tools to use that. So I want to find a way to provide that tool.
Yeah.
In terms of like how people are charged, we were already, as soon as carjacking started increasing over a year ago, we started charging them as armed robberies to enhance the sentencing. We started implementing the firearm enhancement to increase penalties so folks would not get short periods of time for these violent incidents. And we transferred, as you brought up before, some young people to adult court because they were acting like predators in our community. And you can't put a gun in multiple people's faces again and again and get a second chance in juvenile court. At some point, you're a predator regardless of your age. And so we've had to move a few cases to adult court. I think it was the right thing to do. And look, there's people who say, oh my gosh, you're doing this to a young person. In most instances where a juvenile offender has killed someone, they've killed another juvenile. So if you love kids, you can't have a problem with holding them accountable in a way that is more than 3 years in jail for taking a life.
Hey, Jason, real quick, like running out of time, 10 seconds. Anne Kirkpatrick, your thoughts so far, just meeting her, what your first thoughts?
So I've met her. She has agreed to take this job, which means that she has looked at how serious of a job it is. She seems very sharp, and I'm going to do every single thing I can to assist her at doing her job well, because as you realize, the DA's office is the end user of the police department's work product. We're the ones who are in court who have to make these police reports work in court to prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt. So thank God that she is willing to join this fight. As you know, and we talked about it before, I was a big fan of Michelle Woodfork. I think she did an excellent job. She was an amazing partner. Working with her, we implemented strategies in a very short period of time that reduced crime in measurable ways in a very short period of time. And I hope that we can continue to do that same thing with the new chief. And I talked to Michelle the other day, and she's going to be working hard to assist Anne Kirkpatrick any way that she can. So look, we're team members, and we got to work together to make this place safer.
Hey, Jason, I'm glad you're okay. You said you're at your mom's house. Tell your mom it's all behind her, and there's a lot of people in Metro New Orleans thinking about her. Tell her that.
Mom, Corey said it's all behind you, and he and a lot of people in New Orleans are behind you.
Okay. I like that New Orleans accent. Jason, thank you, man.
Thank you, Corey, and thanks for just keeping our finger on the pulse of what's really going on.
That's New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams. Corey Johnson with you, coming right back.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. A lot going on in the Crescent City. Another great weather day in New Orleans. We just had Jason Williams on the program for a good 12, 15 minutes. Some interesting conversation. You can always check that out after the fact on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Lots of ways to check it out. Lots of ways to check out this program. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. CareTalks.com. We're on YouTube every day. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that. And you can catch us on television. The first 90 minutes of the 2-hour talk radio program on TV statewide. Cox Channel 4, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and beyond. Spectrum Channel 333, Slidell, Mandeville, Covington, Hammond, Houma, Thibodaux, Opelousas, and beyond, all over Louisiana. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. I love getting this guy on the program. Damian Michaels joins us from Relevant Studios in New Orleans. Damian, how are you?
Good, Corey. How are you?
Doing well, man. Just a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean, the fire in New Orleans with the 3 kids, the DA getting carjacked, the Israeli-Gaza war. It's overwhelming at times. This 2-year-old, the father backs into the 2-year-old in a Metairie parking lot, and the kid dies, got hit by the car. I mean, it's sickening out there. It's rough sometimes. These kind of segments, honestly. And like Friday, I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, they're definitely challenging times, and you hopefully people find a way to move forward and keep going. But definitely a lot is being thrown at society at the moment. That's very, very difficult to recommend on how to move forward, to be honest.
No, I don't have recommendations. Just keep grinding. But you're right. A lot has been thrown at society. And honestly, on Fridays, I lighten it up a little, get Frank Brightson on from Brightson's. We talk food. I get Fletcher Mackel. I do a little sports segment. I get Michael Hecht on from Greater New Orleans Inc., maybe some good economic news. And on Wednesdays, you coming on and just talking like culinary stuff. No, it is I can exhale for a minute and talk about just like, regular life stuff that you can feel good about. Hey, I want to talk about New Orleans and coffee. I mean, you can drive around the city in certain spots and you can smell coffee being roasted. We are a coffee city. How important is coffee in general to New Orleans, Damian? And really, how important was coffee to New Orleans like at the turn of the century?
Yeah, coffee. New Orleans being a port city, we got to experience a lot of really amazing things come through our city. And in fact, the whole term of Banana Republic comes from United Fruit Company, and there's a whole book in the building on St. Charles where we would literally overthrow governments based on interfering with fruit. But coffee was one of those things that came through our ports where the city was very much in love with coffee, still is. Now America's in love with it. But at one time in the turn of the century in New Orleans, there were 500 coffee companies.
What?
500 coffee brands that were produced in the city. And the Riley Taylor Coffee Company, which was the predecessor for Riley Foods, I think owned about 70 of them. And some of them had very interesting names: Eye Opener, Voltaire. They had a Tulane coffee. They had a Loyola coffee. So really just kind of any way that they could appeal to the public, they would create a coffee company. And it had some really interesting things about the way that they talked about the beverage in and around New Orleans. And it just became one of those things where coffee and chicory became our thing. So New Orleans has a way of taking a great culinary item and putting a spin on it and making it our own. So at the turn of the century, New Orleans was a fantastic coffee company. In fact, on 640 Magazine, this used to be a roasting plant for Riley Taylor. And on the 5th floor in the CBD, this building produced about 130 million pounds of coffee a year.
Now you're talking about the building, Magazine, Corner Girard, where Louisiane Cafe is located in the bottom, that building?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is that is a brick you-know-what house. I mean, it is not, it's big timbers and stuff, but it's also these like poured concrete columns from 100 years ago that look like, if I were a demolition company, I wouldn't want that job. My God, that looks like it's built to last forever.
Yeah, and it was the home. It was a roasting plant for quite some time. So, and then right down the street was French Market Coffee, which is where Pesh is currently located on Magazine. So this was a nice little coffee area. If you were taking a stroll in the morning, you certainly got a nice little coffee breeze, and that might have prompted you to, go have a cup. So,
wow.
Yeah, coffee is a very important part of New Orleans, just like every other culinary institution in New Orleans.
That's amazing. And that street also was home to multiple newspapers back at that time. So a newspaper and coffee corridor. Wow. Pretty cool.
Well, those are two good compliments. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Coffee with the paper. We're visiting with Damian Michaels from Relevant Studios. Now, iced coffee, that's what? Something that's just been cranking up for like 20 years, like a newbie, or what?
Well, it's interesting. A lot of people think iced coffee came about because of Starbucks. Not even close. In 1928, there was an article with the founder, William B. Riley, of Riley Taylor Coffee. And he was very excited about two key things, iced tea and iced coffee. And that was in 1928. That was an interview about the 25th anniversary of the Riley Taylor Coffee Company. So back in 1928, he was touting iced coffee and iced tea as the one thing he just thought was the bee's knees, to use a phrase from those days.
And there was obviously no iced coffee, no iced tea back then, only hot.
Well, there was hot. And then the reason why we got iced tea from a Louisiana perspective is the Riley family would go over during the summers to escape the yellow fever. And while over there, the founder saw that, the high tea was this very formal approach. But if you went in the pubs, they would just be served in this pewter steins at room temperature. And he thought the tea in the pubs tasted infinitely better than the hot tea that was served at high tea, which is a very fancy affair with sandwiches and biscuits, et cetera. So he brought that back. And of course, New Orleans was one of the first places in the country to have formalized ice houses as a commercial venture. In fact, a very famous one burned down on Canal Street and actually ended up killing a very famous politician who was walking along the sidewalk. So, ice houses were a very, very big thing. And then to combine the two, we didn't have a lot of air conditioning back then. And if we did, it was kind of this unique opportunity to get, it wasn't traditional air conditioning, places like the Orpheum basically had a whole basement layer that was ice and was built to where the wind would draft up.
Wow.
And give the audience a cool breeze.
Wow.
So ice was a very interesting thing in New Orleans. And then, of course, it was very hot. So you put it in a beverage, and tea and coffee were the benefactors. And, today everybody thinks, a milkshake called coffee is what comes from Starbucks, and they invented it, when actually in New Orleans, we were cool before it was cool, literally.
Yeah. Like 95 years ago. Unbelievable. Hey, I'm going to throw kind of a curveball at you, Damien, since we're talking coffee. What's the deal with chicory?
Chicory is my favorite root. It's been around as a medicinal item for about 5,000 years. It's the perfect anti-inflammatory. But if you roast it, you get this warm, wonderful kind of nutty, I don't want to say nutmeg, but this wonderful kind of essence to it. And it was a way that they could extend the coffee back during the Depression days and when there was World War II. It was a way to kind of extend the coffee and make it go further. And it adds such a nice flavor profile to coffee that it just stuck. In New Orleans, if we find something that works, we tend not to change it. And it just became one of those wonderful things. In fact, if you go to Greece and you look at all the apothecary urns that they used to store their medicine in, the Romans and the Greeks both used honey and chicory as medicinal items.
Wow.
Honey is a great wound care.
Oh yeah, and
so,
doesn't spoil.
so
it's amazing. No, wow, that's
so it's just
interesting.
It's just how it got added to coffee, and it's been amazing ever since.
Yep. I got to admit, I went to the cafe the other day with my brother. He got breakfast. I'm stuck on that roast beef po' boy. Louisiana Cafe is fantastic. Really is.
Well, thank you. They try very hard to represent the brands well, and they got some talented folks in there, and they love what they do. So hopefully the love comes across in the food.
Yeah, it's a good breakfast and lunch joint in the CBD in the Warehouse District. Hey, Damien, always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
That's Damien Michaels, Relevant Studios here in New Orleans. Talk a little coffee today. Thank goodness. I needed that. Seriously. So much serious stuff going on in the world. Nice to decompress for a second, huh?
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring, and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Hey, if you're tired of your dry cleaner and want to experience the best is Young's Dry Cleaning, a New Orleans institution, 83 plus years since 1940. It's amazing. And they're still at it, the biggest in the region because they've always been the best. Old school walk-up locations, today's preferred method of dry cleaning, that's free pickup and delivery, or the future of dry cleaning now, that's Young's Express, their manless locker locations. To find out more, like getting on their free pickup and delivery list or finding out where those Young's Express locations are located, there's probably one right under your nose, like right where you live or work and you didn't even know it. youngsdrycleaning.com, youngsdrycleaning.com, or give them a call. Dale or Don, they'll help you out. youngsdrycleaning.com. Another great weather day. Absolutely outstanding weather. Get outside and enjoy it. Kind of cool and comfortable, especially morning and nighttime, overnight. Just really great. And I went outside with Toli, my dog. It was, I'm in shorts and a T-shirt, and I wouldn't want to be out there, say, for an hour like that, but it's refreshing for like 10 minutes. It's just, 62, that kind of thing. Just nice. This morning, it went, I would guess, in New Orleans, 6 a.m., like 57 degrees, but very humid. So felt a little colder, like mid-50s. And then by about 8 a.m., it was about 60. And then by 9, it was about 65. And by 10 a.m., it was like 72. And then the sun coming out, bright as can be. Just really nice weather. So drop some coals, light up the gas, cook something good tonight. Get outside, enjoy the yard. Beyond sad and tragic, a New Orleans man, Joseph Washington, just 29, set his ex-wife's house on fire, killing their 3 young children inside, 2 boys and a girl, age 3, 5, and 8. He's in custody. The kids are gone, never coming back. Just a sick story. Tragic. 3, 5, and 8. Also, a 2-year-old I mean, I know people that have accidentally run over their own dog or have had people coming over to visit and have run over and killed their dog. Sickening. Like, how do you get beyond that almost type of thing? Like, you see that person or, you know, a father in Metairie backed up the vehicle and ran over his 2-year-old and killed his 2-year-old son. I mean, I don't know how to handle that mentally. I do not know how. The more I think about it, the more my brain shuts down and cannot handle that. What is that father feeling? How is that father going to move on? A 3, a 5, and an 8-year-old dying in a house fire that their dad lit. 3, 5, and 8. A 3-year-old knows what's going on. Can be very scared, feel pain, sense things that aren't going on, all that. Anybody can feel pain, any living thing. I'm talking just fully understand it, knows what's coming, just sickening. 3, 5, and 8. No, and then you throw this hospital in Gaza and just the Israeli-Gaza-Hamas war to begin with, just sickening. I am pro-Israel, and I'm pro-Palestinians. I am anti-Hamas, anti-terrorist, obviously. No, so many. I mean, I heard it was Anderson Cooper screwed up big time. He's interviewing the former, what was it, president of Israel or prime minister, something, secretary of staff, forget what he was, like a former, higher up in Israeli's government. And he's making some valid points, complaining about the New York Times, which I was too, and Reuters and a bunch of outlets that were Keith Olbermann, Cornel West on social media, just the Israelis targeting a hospital. It's like, my God, you don't know anything about this yet. Wait. Wait. So you have all of that going on. You have people assuming and jumping the gun. You have outlets all ready to blame Israel. But this Israeli prime minister guy, he's saying all this, and I'm in full agreement. And Anderson Cooper is just sitting there, and then he just says, it wasn't the Israelis that did this. And he's like, Palestinians are killing the children. It's Palestinians that are the Palestinians. And Anderson Cooper just at the end said, so-and-so, thank you for joining us, and which was fine as far as like letting him get in and what he wanted to say and get in the last word. But what Anderson Cooper should have said is, you mean Hamas, right? Not Palestinians. You mean Hamas, right? There's a difference between Palestinians and Hamas. And I am pro-Israel. And what that guy was saying was right on the money until he's at the end when he just said Palestinians instead of saying Hamas. I think if Anderson Cooper would have questioned him and said, you mean Hamas, not Palestinians, the guy would have corrected himself. That kind of blanket statement against all Palestinians is part of this problem. Now, I don't see how there's too many extreme Palestinians and too many extreme Israelis where they'll ever work this out. I just don't see how this is ever going to get worked out. Where's old Blue Boy? What you doing, buddy? He's wiggling his tail. Well, Blue Boy. He's walking the other direction, Jason. There must be some food over there. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday.
Round with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 5 p.m.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Celebrate Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh? Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Laitram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Oh, boy. Now, this is the time I walk on the stage and I slap that.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute just
It
sit
did get
right
turned
there
upside
to tell you
down.
how I became the prince
And
of a town
Jada
called
Pinkett
Bel
Smith,
Air.
I was like, she must have written a book or some memoir or something, because all I see on social media is Jada Pinkett Smith and these revelations. And I'm like, two things. Who cares? And then, who's Jada Pinkett Smith again? Jeez, America. What a strange place we live sometimes, huh? It's the best. Freedom's wide open. Gotta tolerate everything. Just about. Including revelations from Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm sorry, you've got me confused with someone who gives a beep. Corey Johnson back at you, wide open Wednesday. Yeah, you right. Another great weather day out there, too. Get outside and enjoy it before the sun drops out the sky. That's getting depressing. The sun's dropping out the sky like a little bit after 6. And you know what that means, huh? That daylight savings time or whatever it is coming up means the sun's going to drop out the sky about 5:15 in a few weeks. Yucky. Yucky. That's sort of depressing. When that first Monday, I walk out the studio at 6 and it's dark, I'm like, damn. I'm glad I don't see it at 5:15. That would be damn. Really kind of a bummer. Hey, Jason, the Palestinian DJ, is it Khaled? Is that his name? Khalid? You think I'd know how to pronounce his name, Jason, just because, he's very popular. I just found out he's Palestinian. I forgot he's Palestinian. There's like another DJ or rapper who's Jewish. Who's the one who's Jewish? And they got together. I'm trying to think who it was. A little different from what he does. I'm trying to think who it was. Wasn't exactly, like he's not like a DJ, but I want to say either a rapper or an actor or something or both. Who was that? Anyway, they got together to chat. DJ Khalid, where is he from? I know he's got a huge home in Los Angeles, and I think he spent like $35 million on something in Miami, a house. Could buy like a Hampton Inn for $35 million. Anyway, DJ Khalid, where is he from? Where was he born and raised? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Hey, don't go Google it and look it up. Anybody can do that. No internet device, no search engines. That's cheating. You either know the answer or you don't. Simple as that. And if you don't, you don't. I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers, but some of us have some of the answers. Like someone goes, I know where DJ Khalid is from. I know where he was born. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The way you dial up the program, you do it via the Rouse's Markets phone lines. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. The 504 Golf, the Top Golf. These are like multi-level driving ranges, 3 stories. I think Chelsea Pier in New York's at least 3 stories. In Japan, they have like 6-8-story driving ranges. Pretty amazing. The Drive Shack, which is going to be 504 Golf by the Times-Picayune building, the old Times-Picayune building, Pontchartrain Expressway at Broad. Top Golf will be in the new River District by the Mississippi River Bridge, by the Convention Center, by the State Power Plant, by the riverfront. Are these going to be the first multi-level driving ranges in New Orleans? The first? Baton Rouge has a Top Golf 3-story driving range right on the I-10. Lafayette's getting a Top Golf. New Orleans multi-level driving range. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Hey, New Orleans' tallest building. That's one question, 504-766-9480. The building in New Orleans with the most stories. Hint, hint, might be the same building, might not. Two different questions. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You got the answer to any of those trivia questions? I got 50 big bucks, $50. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner. They're in Slidell. They're in Mandeville now. Yeah, you're right. They're in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana near that Top Golf in Baton Rouge. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. You can find out more about the Woodhouse, take a virtual tour, book a service, massage, pedicure, manicure at one of their 5 area locations. WoodhouseSpas.com. WoodhouseSpas.com. I need a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Get me jump started on like a 90-minute massage. Just a lot of heavy stuff going on. A 2-year-old boy, his father backed up his truck in a parking lot in Metairie and hit him and killed him by accident, obviously. Sickening. The father, how do you live with that? I mean, I know people that have run over the dog. It's sickening. Run over your own son by accident, a 2-year-old, and he dies? I mean, I don't know. I said it last hour. I think about that. I have to stop thinking about it. Besides it being depressing, my brain can't take it in and think how the father feels, what he's going to do. It's rough. A New Orleans man, Joseph Washington. I mean, this is beyond sad and tragic. Just 29. He has been abusive with his ex-wife, threatened her life or the kid's life before, threatened to light the house on fire before. Well, he did it. He lit the house on fire, killing their 3 young children inside, 3, 5, and 8. 2 boys and a little girl. 2 little boys and a little girl, 3, 5, and 8. 3 years old, 5-year-old, 8 years old. We get numb to black children dying in New Orleans no matter what. They're poor, they're black, whatever. Black and white people. Black people seem more concerned when than white children die almost than black children. We become numb to this. So I don't know what to tell you. Pretend they're white kids from Metairie. Pretend the 3, the 5, 8-year-old are from the North Shore. And it's some father that has mental issues or is angry or just ridiculous, whatever, and lights the house on fire and the kids die. I don't pretend they're white. I don't know what to tell you to make you take it in and be like, my God, because I don't know, you can just forget about life. This is real stuff. The father backing up in Metairie and killing his 2-year-old, running him over, hitting him with the car by accident. Joseph Washington, no accident, lights the ex-wife's house on fire. 3 young children inside, 2 boys and a girl, 3, 5, and 8 years old die. Then you have the Israeli-Hamas conflict, which is depressing and sickening. I don't know how you ignore it. Every night I go home, right away I turn on news and start watching that. I don't know if it's for the show. I do it naturally, but I feel compelled because it's huge, it's big, and it's tragic, and you're hoping it can end. I don't know how extreme Palestinians and extreme Jews will ever get along because the extremes don't want to get along with the other side at all. It is Orleans versus Jefferson on steroids. It is New Orleans versus the rest of Louisiana on steroids. North Shore, South Shore on steroids. Republican, Democrat in America on steroids. Now, I'm an F-150 guy. I'm a Silverado guy. That times a gazillion. Life and death. And folks that do not want to get along. Thinks the other side needs to go away permanently, and the other side's never going away permanently. Millions of Palestinians live in Israel. Millions. What do you have? 2 million in Gaza. You got 1 point something million on the West Bank. You have Arab Israeli citizens in Israel that are Palestinian. Just a sickening situation. There's talk of how do we get an independent group that Hamas, Israel, unites, everyone will agree with as an arbitrator to go into that hospital site and figure out who launched the missile. Good luck. No, it looks like that Gaza-fired rocket, or the Gaza rocket, I should say, was fired from Gaza, the one that hit the hospital. That's what it looks like. Corey Johnson with you. More coming next. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ooh, Laudenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Laudenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Oh, there's Lafayette's own Sonny Landreth on the guitar. Go to YouTube. YouTube Sonny Landreth. I think you'll like it. That guy is incredible. Eric Clapton's like greatest guitarist in the world. Better than me. I agree. I think he's better than Eric Clapton. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia questions. Hey, remember, no search engines, no internet device, no Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Bing, none of that. You either know the answer in your head or you don't. That's it. No cheating. DJ Khalid, where is he from? Palestinian DJ Khalid. His parents are from Palestine. He was born where in the United States? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks can be yours. Good at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 5 area locations. 504 Golf, Top Golf, multi-level driving range. Will those be New Orleans first? 766-9480. Will those be New Orleans first multi-level driving ranges? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. The answer might be the same for these questions, but it's 2 different questions. The answer may be the same, maybe not. New Orleans' tallest building. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. The New Orleans building with the most stories, the most floors. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa can be yours if you've got answers to our questions. 766-9480. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? It's 5:20. Wednesday afternoon. Katie's in Mid-City. Check out sports action, NLCS, ALCS, whatever you like. Big screen TVs everywhere. Lots of good New Orleans food, from po' boys to pizzas, seafood platters. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? Iberville, corner Talamacus, in the heart of Mid-City, like 2 blocks behind Angelo Bricato's ice cream joint on Carrollton, in between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway, in between Bienville and Canal Street. Katie's in Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Jim Jordan falls short in a second House Speaker ballot. I wonder how many rounds this will go. Will Steve Scalise somehow slip back in? The U.S. Capitol Police say they've arrested 300 plus protesters, Jewish activists supporting Palestinians, but breaking the law, going into the Capitol, not breaking in, but walking in the Capitol, and then sitting down and refusing to leave, and then getting arrested, 300 plus. I love doing my radio program. I bet I would get a bigger audience. I'd get a lot of notoriety if I went and blocked the lane on I-10 and set up a table and did the show from the interstate. But it's breaking the law. I got too much respect for the First Amendment, this microphone, this camera, to pull a stunt like that to increase my ratings. I hear you. Your message is important. It's vital. Most people protesting, good and bad, think that. Breaking the law to get your message out there, no matter how important your message is breaking the law. First Amendment's precious. No, the U.S. Capitol Police, glad they were prepared, glad they're arresting 300 plus. Glad. I don't care if it's righteous or David Dork. Can't have it. Breaking the law is breaking the law. Let's go to Harahan. The Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. Renee joins us in Harahan. What up, Renee?
Hey, what's up, Corey? How you doing?
Doing well, man. What's going on upriver?
I just wanted to see if I could get the building with the most stories in New Orleans. You know, the tallest building.
That's our two different questions. It might be the same building. It might not. One question is the tallest building. Another question is which building has the most floors or stories, and it might be the same. So which question do you want to answer?
I'll take the stories. What has the most stories?
Okay.
Let's try.
All right.
I'll say the One Shell Square, 51.
One Shell Square with 51 floors?
51 floors, yes.
And One Shell Square is now, what, Whitney, Hancock, Whitney, right?
Right.
I know it is One Shell Square too, Renee. It is.
Yeah, me too.
It is 51 floors. You are incorrect.
Yeah, you wrong.
Now, Renee, who was going to get that gift certificate?
I was going to give it to my best friend.
A best friend?
Yes.
Nice. Well, you tighten up the best friend. We're going to give you one anyway. I like your thinking, but incorrect. Hang on. All right, Renee? That's Renee in Harahan. We're going to tighten him up with 50 big bucks from the Woodhouse because that's how we do it. Not everybody gets that, but I like his thinking. Maybe he should have answered the other question. Might have the right answer. Two different questions. Now you know two different answers. New Orleans' tallest building. The New Orleans building that has the most floors, most stories. Not the same building. But I like how Renee is thinking. Does New Orleans, the 504 Golf, the Top Golf, these multi-level driving ranges. There's one in Baton Rouge, building one in Lafayette as we speak. Well, whichever one opens first, 504 Golf or Top Golf, will that be New Orleans' first double-decker driving range, triple-decker driving range, multi-level driving range? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. DJ Khalid, where is he from? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. If you got an answer to any of those questions, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at any of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Thanks for checking us out on the radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. Thanks for checking us out live streaming, CareTalks.com, our website. Thanks for checking us out on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. And you folks checking us out on TV, thank you for doing that as well. 2 hours, 4 to 6 o'clock. The first 90 minutes of the talk radio program, simulcast on television. That means live on the radio and live on TV. You folks checking us out on Cox Channel 4 all over the state of Louisiana, or maybe it's Spectrum Channel 333 all over the state of Louisiana. First off, thank you. Second, we call it a day at 5:30 in about 90 seconds. If you like what we're doing, you can always check us out at Oh So Fine, 93.9 FM, CareTalks.com, live streaming there, or go to YouTube and continue watching the program. A lot of you folks have YouTube on your big screen TV. You can check out the full 2 hours via YouTube every day. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Yeah, you right. You know, a lot of stressful, harsh news today, sad and tragic. 2-year-old hit his father backing up the car, vehicle, didn't know he was there, hit the 2-year-old, killed his own son. I mean, I'm sickened by a 2-year-old dying that way. I'm sickened by what the father has to deal with. It was an accident. It's sickening. Beyond sad and tragic, Joseph Washington, just 29, a New Orleans man, has been abusive reportedly to his wife in the past, has threatened her and the children in the past, threatened to burn down the house in the past, lit the house on fire last night, killing their 3 young children inside, 2 boys and a girl, aged 3, 5, and 8. Throw in the Israel-Hamas war, the hospital, the suffering in Israel and Gaza. It's tough. It's tough. Hey, TV audience, see you tomorrow. Check us out on YouTube. CareTalks.com, 93.9 FM, till 6 o'clock. The U.S. Capitol Police say they've made 300 plus arrests. Jewish activists supporting Palestinians. I like that thought. I don't like them breaking the law at the Capitol of all places. You're going to do it at the Capitol after January 6th. Left or right, I don't care what you represent. Doesn't matter. After January 6th, protesters, something righteous, something not righteous. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of America. The First Amendment gives us freedom of speech, freedom of protest. You just can't break the law doing it. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater as an individual, and you can't block the interstate, attack police, block roadways. Our message is so important. It's so righteous. We have to, I hear you, David Duke with his KKK crap thinks his message is so important and so righteous. That's the beauty of America. Everyone gets the free pass. You just can't break the law doing it. David Dork and his Nazi clowns, they can't break the law. I can't go do my show from the interstate, which would be hugely beneficial. I'd make the news. People that have never heard of me would maybe start listening, watching. It'd be a great, publicity stunt. Getting arrested, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, and I'm breaking the law, and I'm abusing the First Amendment, this mic, that camera, abusing it. There's a responsibility. So, no, I'm not going to break the law, the First Amendment, and me doing talk radio for crying out loud. No, it's precious. I'm not going to break the law to garner ratings, to boost my bottom line, to increase the show's popularity, to get people that didn't even know I existed knowing who I am, to make more money. Not going to do it. Now, these Jewish activists supporting Palestinians, I think that's a righteous cause. I think that's a strong statement. You just can't break the law. No, some folks think their message is so right, so strong, so it must be heard that we can circumvent these laws. We're going to block the interstate. Just doesn't work that way. America's pretty amazing. A lot of folks that complain about it lack empathy. They don't understand things outside their own wheelhouse. That's America's strength. You don't have to understand stuff outside your own wheelhouse as long as it's not illegal, something perverse, sick, deviant. You're fine. You're fine. Break the law. I'm glad the Capitol Police are prepared. I'm glad they could make 300 plus arrests. That sends out a strong message. Hey, protesters, January 6th, this little thing at the Capitol today. You can't just enter the Capitol and ignore police saying where you're going and then sit down in the rotunda and just chant and protest. No, I'm glad that the Capitol Police have been strengthened. I'm glad that this incident did take place because now they'll hey, let's figure out how to stop this kind of crap from happening. And then third, I'm glad they got the power of people, the number of people, the force to make 300 plus arrests. Folks sitting down, refusing to get up, that kind of crap. No, protesters need to get it. It is tough. Freedom's hard. Got to respect the First Amendment and the right to protest, and you can't abuse it. There's no topic that's so important, so righteous that has to be heard, and you're going to do it by breaking the law. No, I'm glad all these folks got arrested. And what sucks is they're Jewish activists that are pro-Palestinian. We need more of that. We need Palestinians that are pro-Israeli, and we need Jewish folks that are pro-Palestinian. I was bummed today, and Anderson Cooper didn't handle it well. He had on a former, Israeli, prime minister. I forget who it was. President, Secretary of State type person. I forget. I should have obviously got that point down. But trust me, it was someone significant, someone that knows Israel. And I was with him. I've been saying this. New York Times, Reuters, different liberal-leaning outlets, Cornell West on Twitter, Keith Olbermann on Twitter, just Israeli targeting the Palestinian hospital, just, not knowing the facts. I replied to Keith Olbermann. How long you been in this business, man? Wait, you don't know. Even Hamas said cause, not hit the hospital, caused an explosion. Their words speak volumes. Then Oberman retracted it. I respect that. He apologized, said I should have waited till, more facts are out there. Exactly what I said. He accepted it and apologized. I was like, that's pretty damn strong. More people need to step up when they make mistakes and apologize. So I was all on these folks. The AP, Gaza Health Ministry says at least 500 killed in explosion at a hospital. When I'm reading AP News and then I see Gaza Health Ministry, I'm thinking that must just be a Palestinian thing, that maybe West Bank folks, regular Palestinians. No, the Gaza Health Ministry is run by Hamas. And AP doesn't put that in the headline. They put it later in the story, but not in the headline. And that's just wrong. Got to be more responsible. So this Israeli former prime minister's ripping the media for that. And I am with him. And then right up to the end, and he's like, it's Palestinians killing babies. It's Palestinians raping women. And Anderson Cooper's like, thank you for joining us, and went to a break. And he should have said, you mean Hamas, right? You mean Hamas, not Palestinians, Hamas, right? Because the Israeli guy was complaining, if this were America, the media would have taken their word for it right away. But with Israel, it wasn't. And he was that's what he was complaining about. At least wait until an investigation's done before you make the headline that we hit a hospital, which we didn't. Palestinians did. Palestinians killing babies. And he needs to say Hamas. And Anderson Cooper should have corrected him. I'm a pretty wide open person as far as I like people for what they are, what they bring to the table. And I'm fortunate that I don't judge male or female or black or white or Jewish or Christian or Palestinian or any of that. Homosexual, I don't care. Results, who you are, good person. That's all I care about. I just think these are, blatant errors by people in high positions that can influence. And it just exacerbates the situation. And I don't know, there's just too many Israeli and Palestinian, too many Jews and Palestinians I like. I mentioned that kebab house restaurant owned by Palestinians. I love these people. They're really great. They're nice folks. They really are. I don't care they're Palestinian. I'm glad they are, and I'm glad they're proud about it. But they're just good people. That's why I go. Lebanon's Cafe, Hussein, the owner, is Iraqi. That's fantastic. He loves America, has family in Iraq still. Glad Saddam Hussein's out. He's a good man, cares about his kids, worrying about their education. That's all I'm concerned with. Oh, and by the way, that the Middle Eastern food's really good, and it is at Lebanon's. Proof in the talking the talk, walking the walk. I picked it up for lunch today. Anyway, no, it's sad. Extreme Jews, extreme Palestinians. I don't see how they're ever going to accept the other side, ever. Because the extreme Jews and the extreme Palestinians, they're just hell-bent. I've been burned too many times. These people aren't good. They need to go. I got news for Jews and Palestinians. Present-day Israel, Gaza, West Bank, the Jews and the Palestinians aren't leaving. They're not leaving that area. They've been there forever, over time. Neither party's leaving. Figure out how to get along, or you'll always be at war because neither party is leaving. And that's what's so insane about this. I mean, it's so many levels. Israel, which is great with security and surveillance. How does this happen? How do 1,000 Hamas folks training in Gaza, training sites set up open in Gaza? How does all this happen? How does the breach happen? Because if the breach doesn't happen, Israelis military shuts that down immediately. That day, there is no war. Just another Hamas attack thwarted. Instead, we have a full-blown war now, and it could escalate. Iran's loving it. Hezbollah might come in from Lebanon from the north. Who knows? And it appears that the rocket was fired from Gaza. It appears it was either Hamas or jihadist group fired that missile. That the U.S. is siding with Israel. Israel showing video, audio proof. Hamas is showing nothing that refutes any of it. Hamas saying that Israel didn't hit the hospital. An Israeli missile caused an explosion near the hospital. Like, they're even acknowledging. It's just very, I mean, if I have to go one way on this, I'm saying Hamas did it from what I know, from what I've seen, from what I'm hearing. But it'd be nice if there was some independent group that both Hamas, Palestinians, regular Israelis, extremists like Netanyahu, all would accept as an arbitrator, someone that they could trust, that can go in there and investigate the hospital scene. And this is 2023, very quickly. Shrapnel, fuel burned, all kind of stuff. You can figure out where this missile came from, who built it, who fired it, all of it. Jim Jordan falls short in a second House Speaker ballot. Boy, are Democrats dysfunctional? You bet. So are Republicans, though. Please. Anyone who thinks otherwise, crazy. Boy, I was literally running heat overnight, a little heat. Then I turned off the system this morning. And then after lunch, I cranked up the air conditioning, literally, at my house. It was like 77. If you need air conditioning or heat help anytime, River City's Total Maintenance. I'm going to make it easy for you. You don't have to remember River City's Total Maintenance. You don't have to remember their honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. You don't even have to remember their phone number, 841-3300. I'm going to make it easy for you. Just remember NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. If you know NOLAAC.com, you know River City's Total Maintenance. You know honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. You'll find the phone number on the website, 841-3300. So you don't have to remember any of that other stuff. You can just feel rest assured that you got the best company because you know they're honest, they're AC and heating experts, and they're coming immediately. All you need to remember is NOLAAC.com. You need heat or air conditioning help? All you need to remember, NOLAAC.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Cotton Bowl winning coach Willie Fritz joining us on the program. Have you ever been part of a game that great?
A lot of things happen in the game. You just don't know the script. You got to adapt and improvise. You just got to keep playing hard the whole time. And our guys did an excellent job of that.
How big is yesterday for the overall future of the program?
You got to have a guy who really have a burning desire to get a quality education and also be a great football player. You know, you got to have both.
You've always have embraced New Orleans. You've been a great ambassador for the city, for Tulane University.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My wife and I just love it here in New Orleans. And just everybody, the city's just sensational. It's a dime for every person who came up to me after it. I had tickets in the old Tulane Stadium. And, I've heard that a ton of times. And letting you know, that's good that we're able to make some people happy.
That's Willie Fritz joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Roll wave.
The spirit of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on The Neutral Ground.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Hey guys, it's Frank Smith from LasVegasGambling.com with your weekend 5-star lock of the week. Lock of the week. Take the Lakers and the points over the Clippers. Sell the house, sell the boat, sell your children. Send grandma away and take the money. Put everything you've got on this 5-star selection. It's the Lakers over the Clippers. And we've also got a fantastic 5-star parlay as well. Call us now, 888-555-7777. It's Frank Smith, a.k.a. The Hammer, from LasVegasGambling.com. Do it now.
It's football season, so those gambling sites are definitely advertising more. But boy, you remember when legalized gambling, sports betting took hold in Louisiana? The amount of commercials. I mean, the station down the dial where I used to work, it's like every single on-air personality represents a different sports book or something. Call them and get $200 of this, free points, blah, blah, blah. Just nauseating. And it's funny how they're not spending the money they used to spend. In the beginning, it was, let's get it out there, fast and furious, free money to bet all this, bring in as many gamblers as we can, let them know we're there, and then ideally lure in people that have never gambled and try to get some people hooked. And then the next year rolls around, radio and television people, the sales, hey, where's the money? We're ready to do the sports book stuff, the gambling commercials, and the gambling folks realize they spending that initial amount of money all the time is a waste of money. There's people like me that they're never going to get. I have no interest in sports gambling. I mean, I like sports. I shouldn't say I have no interest. I have friends that gamble, and if I see something I like, if something I think's like a sucker bet, I might call them and tell them. But I'm not placing bets. I go to the casino once every few years. I bring in like $100 and I leave like my ATM card in the car, like I'm going to lose $100. If I win some money, great. But I'm not going to do much more than that. I'm not into it. It's legal. Have fun, gamble. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying these sports books, they're not pounding the message out relentlessly, spending gobs of money because they've saturated the market. Now it's just sort of reminder spots. Let's get the loose end out there on board. But as far as, major growth, there isn't any. The people that are going to bet are betting. The people that they lured in. The chance of luring in other folks, there's nothing you can do to the commercials, change them, that's going to lure in anyone else like me. They're kind of done, and they know it. They're up against the wall. So it's now just kind of a reminder to people that bet or could bet, hey, don't forget about us. And they're not spending nearly the amount of money. And some on-air personalities aren't promoting it and getting that money anymore. Yeah, I just said I'm not going to take that money. I had a chance to take it. Good money. Really good money, just throwing money at you to promote a gambling site. I'm like, I don't gamble. I'm not really into it. I mean, it's sort of a, it's legal. It's like cigarettes or alcohol or something. Just sort of, it's not like a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Just, it's a thing. Strip joints, that kind of stuff. That part of America. It's legal. I'm not going to promote it. Why would I promote that? And a lot of money. No, it's called integrity and honor. It's like these, scammer attorney types. Would I take money from a defense attorney? Yes, I have before. Greg DeLeo. He used to come on the program, used to run his commercials. Greg's a different kind of cat. He's a real lawyer. I mean, if it's a lawyer that has integrity and ethics and morals, sure. But don't take a check till you check with me types. No, I'm not taking that money. They've been a few that wanted me to take the money because I was abusing the ambulance chaser lawyers, and they were tired of hearing it. Throw a little money at Corey, we make a ton, shut him up. Life's too short. A wise man about 10, 12 years ago told me, and I knew this anyway, but it was nice to hear it and get reaffirmed. Your name is all you've got. Your name and your reputation is all you've got. Everything else is fleeting, here today, gone tomorrow, or maybe even not gone tomorrow, but integrity, honor, ethics, your name, what people think, your reputation is all you have. That's why every day we bring it nonstop, not scared, telling it like it is. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Beyond sad and tragic, a New Orleans man, 29 years old, sets his ex-wife's house on fire, killing their 3 children inside, 2 boys and a girl, aged 3, 5, and 8. A man in Metairie, by accident, backing up his vehicle, hits and kills his 2-year-old son, his little boy. I don't know how he's going to deal with that. Sickening. The Israel-Hamas war continues. No, it's a lot of tough stuff to handle. I'm glad we're fading towards Fantasy Friday in a couple of shows. Kind of decompress a little bit. Hey, speaking of decompressing, Fausto's Italian Bistro is open till 9 p.m. Why don't you head there right now for dinner? Experience some of the best Sicilian and Italian. Period. End of story. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans, Leidenheimer French bread. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right, Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Wow. This can't be true, huh? The Louisiana Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, Bessie, proposing lowering the graduation standard for high school students in Louisiana, lowering the standard. Under the new standards, students would be eligible to graduate even if they fail the state's graduate exit exam several times. They repeatedly fail the graduate exit exam, they'll still be able to graduate with a high school diploma in Louisiana. Why would you lower the standard? The student that can't pass the state's graduate exit exam repeats 12th grade. I don't know what to tell you. Crazy. What's that, Blue Boy? The last thing Louisiana needs to do is lower any educational standard. You're right on the money, buddy. See you tomorrow. Straight up 4 o'clock. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.